And we're live. Welcome to the Rican show. And today I have Five-Star Pete. He's an actor that was in Hollywood, but I'm gonna let him tell his story. So like that, you can hear it from his mouth. So Pete, introduce yourself.
All right. So my name is Five Star Pete. How's it going, everybody? I am a conservative actor, um, formerly in Hollywood. We'll get into that later on, but you might have seen me in The Blacklist, which was on NBC. I was also on HBO in a show called Secession, and I was also in a blockbuster movie, Dark Knight Rises, which is part of the Batman series.
Oh, okay. I knew
All
you
right.
kind of looked familiar, but I saw a little bit of
I
the
get that a lot.
Blacklist. I saw a little bit of the Blacklist. Which one was that one? That was the one.
I don't even think I saw you. I didn't show you that one.
No. I'm just trying to think. The
Oh,
Blacklist is which one? Is that the
that's with James Spader.
James
Uh,
Spader? Okay, yeah, I saw a little bit of that one. I was gonna get confused with Blank Spot, right?
oh, Blind Spot. Okay, that's
Blank
another
Spot,
one.
the one with the tattoos.
Yeah, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, I'm getting confused with
Um,
that one. But
so yeah, that's a little bit about me.
oh,
So we
okay.
can we
So
can start with that.
so how did you? So what made you get into acting? Like,
Um, just something I kind of fell into. Originally started as a hobby, just something to do. One of my
mhm.
friends was going out for an audition. Um, Not an audition. It was he booked the role, and it was for Dark Knight Rises, and you know I followed up exactly what he did, and I got the same role, and we were kind of on the same side, and did it together. Um, and I got to see like all the behind the scenes, how the whole production, takes place, and what goes on set. Just to be on set is an experience in itself. Um, I just kind of fell in love with it. I loved it from the very beginning, and knew this was something I wanted to get into. Um, I wound up taking acting classes. Um, got myself an agent, a manager. I went out on auditions, and I just snowballed from there.
So let me. So have you always been conservative, or just something that you woken up to, like recently, where maybe you used to be a Democrat, and then all of a sudden the party's changed so much, where you just change your views?
Um, no, no, I haven't always been a conservative. I've been a Republican. Um, but since everything that happened with 2020, um, I actually denounced the party. I'm now registered as a conservative. I'm not. I no longer have
Oh,
any affiliation with the Republican Party.
oh,
I was never a
a
Democrat.
you could register as a conservative
Yeah.
in Florida, right? Florida, you.
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't.
Yeah, it's on the ballot.
No, not here. Not here in Pennsylvania. You could register either Republican or
Actually,
Libertarian.
I'd have to double check that. I'm not
Because
100% on that, to be honest with you.
because I'm a registered Republican, just because the fact that um kind of how like the far left has taken over the Democrats. That's how I feel that libertarians need to do with the Republican Party. I feel that
Hmm.
the Republicans, I feel I'm more libertarian because like, it says, especially let's say on social issues, I'm more liberal. But when it comes to certain social issues, I'm more liberal. Let's say gay marriage, abortion, but like this whole trans stuff. No, I'm more I'm more conservative. Conservatish, as a friend of mine likes to. There's a guy I follow.
Conservative.
That's
I
his
like
name.
that.
His conservatish, where it's like he's not conservative.
Kind of.
He's
Not
conservative. He's
totally, not
kind of, yes.
100%, but you got
Um,
some
he so
qualities.
happens to be Puerto Rican too, so it's funny. Um, so I mean, I've had him on my show before too. So he's great. He's a comedian. He's a singer. So if you don't follow him, you got to give him a follow. He's um,
Okay. I will.
He's a good guy. Um, so yeah, so what is it like in Hollywood? So what goes on there? Like, what is it that? What did you notice that? Well, you could feel that you feel uncomfortable, like you don't feel like you can
Okay.
share your views.
So I think basically this started in 2016 when Trump, ran for president.
Hmm.
That's when I saw things kind of changing. Um, People are now, I say people, actors
Uh,
are blacklisted in Hollywood if they show an inkling or even a little bit of allegiance to um, Trump or the Republican Party. So you won't get booked, you won't get auditions. That's how bad it's become. If you're not in this circle,
yeah,
and by that I mean you're not on the left, you just won't get booked. You might get auditions. I'm not saying you won't,
but you
but
won't get the
more
parts.
than likely you won't book the role.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, that started in 2016. Then in 2020, the whole business changed like altogether. So the pandemic, um, all the in-person auditions was thrown out the window completely. No more is there in-person auditions. Everything is done via self-tape, which is what they call them, self-tapes. So not only do you have to audition, but you have to record it yourself. You have to find yourself a reader. Um, you're basically doing the whole production yourself. You could take as many takes as you want, but it's your tape. That's your audition, however you want to do it. And you send it out.
Mhm.
And then it's a waiting game. So instead of getting face to face, immediate feedback,
Yeah.
you're waiting days, weeks, months to see if you got the role. So now everything is on tape. You send it in, usually by email or upload to a site or something.
Like a Dropbox or something.
Yeah. So everything's been changed. Um, no more in-person auditions. Now,
Mhm.
here's where it gets a little. Um,
Well, Marissa put, makes no sense that there's any mandates if
okay.
there's self-taped auditions. Hollywood is so backwards. Control.
Okay. So,
So
thank you, Marissa, for leading me into the next topic. So, to add on to that, there's mandates. There's mandates in Hollywood now. So, along with the audition notices that you get as an actor, one of them, along with your personal info, is if you're vaccinated or not. That's a part of the audition notice. Yes or no. Basically, click one,
yeah.
right? The other thing is, if you make it to that next step and you get lucky enough to be on set and book the role and all that, you have to take COVID tests. It's either a day before or 2 days before. It has to be a negative test. So even if you book the role and take the COVID test and it's positive, you're not allowed to be on set. So you can book the role and still not
Mhm.
be able to film.
Okay.
That's where it gets a little tricky. Now, let's say it's a negative result, right? And you're able to go to the next step where you're filming and you're on set and all that. You have to wear a mask. So let's say you're vaccinated, you get a negative result, you still have to wear a mask while you're on set. Not in your scene, of course,
Of course.
but as you're walking around set, you have to wear a mask. Explain to me the common sense in that.
Well, it's like that's not any
And you
different
have to
than
be 6 feet apart.
no. I remember my wife is a fan of Grey's Anatomy, and I used to be before Trump was elected because the star. What's her name?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Pompe- no, Pompeo. I think that's her
Oh,
name.
Pompeo. Okay,
Yeah.
she's one of the
Anyways,
nurses. Yeah,
she's no, she's the doctor. She's the star. I forget,
yeah.
but she says something like, "Oh, I don't need Trump supporters watching the show." So I was like, you know what? Fuck you then. I
I
don't need
heard
to
that.
watch your show.
I
So
heard that.
I'm like, you know what?
Hence why I don't
But
watch
even
the
then,
show.
so my
Not many
wife was.
people watch that show anymore, anyway.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's been on for so long. It's like how
Yeah,
many,
what are they in
you know,
their
how
39th season?
it's, yeah. I mean, who knows? But it's stupid. So I was out there watching the show, and I'm seeing like these people. They're all this distance away, filming these scenes, and wearing these respirators with the, and I'm just there like, yeah, people, and then the stuff that's on it, like the woke bullshit that's on it.
Yeah, well, that's
Uh,
what turns me off right away. They
oh
try to
yeah,
push their agenda into their TV shows,
yeah. My wife finally
like we
got
don't
fed up.
hear enough of it on our TVs.
Yeah, my wife finally got fed up with it. My niece, I remember my niece was all into this stuff until she's a swimmer.
Okay,
So she competes in swimming. Well, the whole Leah Thomas stuff came up. Before the whole Leah Thomas stuff came up, she was like, "Oh, I don't see, why you make such a big deal about the trans athletes." And I'm like, I told her, maybe one day you'll understand. I told her this, I would explain to her why, and she's like, "Oh,
I
but they
mean,
deserve to." Huh?
what's not to understand though? I mean, this
Well,
was
you know
this
what
was
it
a
is.
woman who was basically last
Well,
against
no,
the women, and then all of
she's
a
young.
sudden,
Well, no, this was before that happened.
no,
It was
last against the
before.
men, and now all of a
Yeah.
sudden she's number
Well,
one
that's what I'm saying.
against the women.
This was before that happened. So my niece was like, "Oh, I don't understand why you're against that stuff." And I told her, "I hope one day you don't understand that you don't have to face up against someone like that." And then the whole thing happened with Leah Thomas, and she was like, now she's against it because it's like it hit her personally because she's a swimmer.
Because she's a swimmer, right?
So once she saw that, she was like, "Oh shit." I saw what you were talking about now. Now I understand. And it's like it wasn't being anti-trans, it was being pro-woman.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. That's what they, want to push. But
But I'm pretty sure also in Hollywood they want to do, anyway, not to go off on that tangent, but you
yeah,
know,
I mean, we could have a whole show on that.
yeah. Um, so I mean, just the stupidity of that.
Exactly
What
what I
I,
said.
what I really was going to compare it to was like when they used to make you wear a mask into the restaurant, but when you sat at the table, you could take it off.
Right. COVID
You know,
disappears when you sit down.
yeah,
But when you
COVID,
stand
yeah,
up, it comes back.
yeah,
Because it's only
exactly,
linear. It's only linear. It only goes like this. It doesn't go down. It doesn't go up. It just stays like this, right?
yeah, exactly. So
That makes
it's like,
sense.
and I still people look, listen, I understand if you're sick. Look, if you're sick, wear a mask because if you need to sneeze or cough, at least you're not spitting all over the place. I get that. You know, I get it because look, like I had COVID during Thanksgiving, and in order to make everybody feel comfortable, I was like, "Fine, I'll wear. I don't want to get anybody sick. I don't want anybody to say that I'm this asshole. So I'll put the mask on so you guys feel comfortable." After a while, they were like, "Just take it off," and I'm like, "Well, tell me twice." I wasn't
Yeah.
wearing it. I was wearing it to make you guys feel comfortable.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing with that. Okay. If you're sick, whether it's COVID, whether you got the flu, whether you got a cough, a cold, you're sneezing, whatever the case, like whatever,
Mhm.
don't go outside. Don't go anywhere. Like stay in, get better, take your medicine, get better first.
Yeah.
Don't go out and start spreading around. Now, the thing with the mask, all right, you're wearing a mask to protect, other people. And that's good. In theory,
In theory.
it makes sense, right? But now here's the thing. You're coughing and sneezing in the mask.
Oh yeah.
So now you're breathing in your own germs and you're sick. So now what's happening? You're just making yourself continually sick inside that mask.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying. I
You're
remember
breathing in
what
your
was
own
it?
germs.
Well, what was that? I remember one time I went to the store and I saw, I saw someone sneeze. They took off their mask to sneeze. in the store. And then they put it back on, and I'm like, you just defeated the whole purpose of why you're
You
wearing
put the
the
mask
mask.
on to prevent the spread. Now you
Yeah,
take the
but
mask
meanwhile,
down
you're
to
there
spread it
squeezing it.
around,
Yeah.
and then you put the mask back on. So,
But that's why, I mean, that's the stupidity of what you're telling me. What happened there? That's what was going on while filming. It's like, okay, while the camera's on, there's no COVID, but once the
right,
camera's off, COVID's back. Let's
COVID's
put the
back. Got to
mask
put it
on.
back on. Right.
And then it's
And I remember too. It only came out like certain times. Right. Remember that was a thing, like after 10 o'clock or
you're
something like
fine.
that.
Well, yeah, that was the joke, because the rioting of 2020. It's
Right.
like,
Right. When the sun goes
at night
down,
you
there's
don't
no
have to
more
worry about
COVID.
COVID.
Right. They could riot and burn cities down,
Mhm.
but
No, there was
COVID's not around then.
there was an actual article that said, from some woke doctor that said, um, basically that, the release from the protesting was good for, it was good for like mental health. So in turn, it was good for the
Let your
pandemic.
anger out, your frustration.
Yeah, curfew. Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
there was a curfew. Yeah, because COVID comes out after 10 o'clock.
Well, you see, I didn't have to worry about that where I live, because I don't live in the city.
Thank you, Marissa.
I live in the boondocks. So I didn't have the same home. It wasn't until I went into New York that it was like, even now when I go into New York, you still see people wearing masks in New York. And
Yeah.
the ones that kill me the most are the ones that are in their car wearing a mask.
Oh my God, with the windows up, and nobody else in the car with them.
Nobody else in the car.
That makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's
Like
like
that's a special kind of stupid.
Have you ever lived in New York before? Are you
Born and
trans?
raised.
Oh,
Born and
okay. No,
raised in New York. I live in
okay.
Florida now, but
Okay.
I
So
spent 35 years in New York.
okay, so I
36,
was on the
37.
80. So I was on the 80 seeing someone by themselves in the car wearing a mask. Like, really? You're by yourself in your damn car on the highway. Not like you, like, I could see something where, like, let's say, you just had it on and you just didn't feel like taking it off because you were just going to go to like another store. But you were on the
Right.
highway. We were in the highway for like going from Pennsylvania to New York. And we're driving and I could see you by yourself still wearing that damn mask. Like, really? So I could only imagine the frustration seeing it, as at work, in your job in Hollywood with these, it's like, okay, get ready, shoot. Okay, take off your mask. Don't forget to take off your mask.
Well, that's the thing. I never got to experience that.
Oh, you just have friends tell you?
Yeah, I got a lot of friends in the industry. I mean, like I said, I couldn't get to that point to get on set. All my work was pre-COVID.
Oh, good.
I mean,
Marissa put they have brain damage, so I'm sure their
protect
voices in their
themselves
head,
from-
they have to protect themselves from a mask.
Yeah, ever
Someone
since these mandates came out, I haven't been able to work as an actor.
here, adventurous Mikey.
Hello, Mikey. How's it going?
He put, sorry I'm late.
It's all right. I'm late too.
Yeah.
We're all
He was
kinda
late too.
today.
He had an adventure to get to the show today.
I did.
But no. So yeah. So you were saying about the.
Yeah,
so
all my work was
So
pre-COVID.
you haven't been able to.
The last thing I
have
did
you
was
at least been able to
Blacklist.
get an auditions since.
I've gotten auditions.
Okay.
I've gotten lots of auditions. Sent in my tapes,
Mhm.
but again, as I was saying before, on the audition notices, I had to put whether I was vaccinated or not, and then I wasn't booking anything. So put two and two together, and that's the only thing that I could really come up with.
And this
this
is still
happens
going on to
often.
this day. And it's still going on to this day that they ask you that you're.
I don't know.
You haven't. When's the last time you applied for a job? Or
I had an agent and a
Okay,
manager who were submitting me for these roles.
gotcha.
So everything would go through my agent. Um, it's been a while. It's been a while. 2021,
Wow.
like
Well,
late
that's why.
2021. So I haven't been able to work since 2019. I think the last thing I did was the blacklist. And like I said, that was pre-COVID.
That's
So I don't know if it's still going on, but yeah, I said, once they started coming out with those notices that asking me for if I'm vaccinated or not, yeah, I can't do that. I can't put up with that.
well, it's none of their business.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with acting at all. It has
No,
nothing to do with my talent. Has nothing to do with my audition itself. Like, what does me
well,
being vaccinated have anything to do with the audition?
especially where we're at.
So if I'm not, you're not going to give me the part. Like they didn't say it, but that's
Mhm.
basically what you're telling me. What does it have to do with my audition? If I am or not?
And it shouldn't. I mean, you guys are gonna be close together. So whether somebody has it or not, I
Right.
remember. Do you watch Fluffy? You know
Fluffy?
who
No.
Fluffy
What's
is?
that?
He's a comedian. He's a big
Oh,
fat
Fluffy. Yeah, Gabriel.
Fluffy. Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he in his last special, he talked about like he was trying to film during COVID, and talked about how even though he got vaccinated, he still caught COVID, which we all know now that at the time they were bullshitting us and telling us that if you got vaccinated,
You
you
weren't
weren't
going to
going
get
to
COVID.
catch, you weren't be able to get it, or you weren't going to spread it. We know
But all
that's
these people that got vaccinated are getting COVID, not once, not twice, but I'm saying 3, 4, 5 times.
yeah. It's I'm not fat, I'm fluffy. It's like
Yeah, he's great.
Marissa put
I love
I
him.
love Gabriel, and you put your buddy
Not
put
fat and
I'm
fluffy.
not fat, I'm fluffy. I had to lose weight. I lost like 50 pounds because
Good for
like
you, man.
I took the summer off from. Well, my show used to be a little different format. So I used to film. I used to do like maybe like 10-20 minute video every day,
Okay.
and people don't understand how much work it takes to do just like for what I'm doing to do a 10-20 minute video, how much I have to read, how much I have to research just to do a 10-minute video. I
Hmm.
have to read articles, different articles, make sure the sources are okay. Because sometimes just because you read something on I let's say it's on Fox News. Okay, well let me see what MSNBC, let me see what CNN are saying about the same article.
Right.
Just to filter through the opinions versus the facts, and takes time. You watch the news and stuff like
Well,
that.
if you listen to those 3 news outlets, you're not going to get the truth.
Well, that's why I said
You got
if you
to
listen
kind
to
of do
one,
your own research.
if you listen, this is what I used to tell people. This is what I tell people all the time. I say, if you want to know what the news is, watch Fox News, watch MSNBC. What they agree on is usually what the news is. Let's say there was a hurricane that hit Florida.
Hmm.
That's the news. When they start talking about climate change and all that nonsense, that's their opinion.
Yeah.
So that's when you go, okay, well, this is when they're starting to put their opinion into
Trying to
the story.
politicize everything.
Exactly. So that's when basically I changed it to this format once a week. I try to get a guest on because it's much easier. It's much more fun. This is more fun than, let's say, me just reporting on stories that I hope that catch my interest and hope that it becomes a big thing, because sometimes you need to do they agree on the news or the narrative? That's the question. That's a very good question.
That is a good question.
That's that's something where you do have to do your own research to see if it's a narrative versus uh, if it's the news or a narrative. Because Fox News is not just because they appear to be conservative or right leaning, it doesn't always mean that they're not, parroting the establishment line. Like most of them were for McCarthy except Tucker Carlson. Like Tucker Carlson's the only one on Fox News that I go.
He's probably the only one I really listen to.
Yeah, he's probably the only one I go, you know what? If he says I'm more inclined to believe it. Sean Hannity, I've never liked Sean Hannity. I think he's a prick. He comes across as an arrogant jerk.
I can't truly support him either.
So, like I said, Tucker Carlson
and McCarthy, the jury's still out on him. He's got to prove himself to me.
Well, I think that's the whole thing. I think he needs to prove himself.
He definitely needs to prove that he's for the people and going to get shit done because, like I said, he's just another politician to me. So if you're not going to come in here and do anything and just sit back on your heels, you're just like one of these Democrats. You might as well be on the other side and work for them. Because we need people that are going to work for the people.
Since you're in Florida, what's your opinion of DeSantis that you're there on the ground? That you get to probably get more of, more local reports on DeSantis than, I do out here.
I love DeSantis. I mean, he's been able to, throughout this whole thing, has been made Florida to flourish and keep afloat. I think out of everybody, out of all the governors, he's handled this the best way. He's let people live. He's kept businesses open to make money, to let people put food on their table, to pay their bills. I mean, we were shut down for what, 6 weeks, 8 weeks or whatever. Mm-hmm. But besides that, we've been open. We've been open and making money, and our businesses are flourishing. We're still building. We're still building every single day. There's new construction. There's new bars, new restaurants. Everything's new.
Yeah, I saw that. I was actually in Florida for Christmas. I took my kids to Disney for Christmas. And
we started on Disney.
Huh? Hey, let's get started on it. We're you're in the entertainment business. So why not talk about what's going on with Disney? It's like, but no, I saw what you're talking about with the construction. I mean, I drove the tollway from like almost where from the 95, when the 95 goes down and then you have to cut across.
Were you on the East Coast or the West Coast? Whereabouts were you?
Oh no, I was in Davenport, which is like right next to where Disney's at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said that. Okay.
Yeah, I was in Davenport. Right.
I'm not really familiar with that. I do know Orlando and Disney area. So
yeah, no,
Celebration. I think
it's
that is
basically
over there.
It was the next town over was Lakeland.
Lakeland. Okay.
Then I know Lakeland is a suburb of like Tampa, I think, right?
Yeah, that's closest to me. I'm in Tampa, just so everybody knows. I'm in St. Petersburg. Like
it's on your Twitter that says you're there in Florida. Tampa. I have family in Lakeland, and my cousin runs a bike shop in Tampa. I think if he still runs the bike shop there.
Bike shop, like what, motorcycles or what kind
of
bike?
Like bike, like regular, like a bicycle.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he used to do pro. He was a pro biker.
Okay.
Pro
like
cyclist.
Motocross and all that?
No, pro cyclist.
Oh.
So don't get me wrong. He liked his motorcycles because he broke his leg on a motorcycle, which kind of probably screwed up some of his cycling career.
Mm.
But here, for Marissa, let's go. She goes, start on it. Let's go.
Start on what?
We were talking about Disney. I think that's what she wanted. She was like,
you want Disney, huh?
Huh? What's that? Because I could look as a parent, I could tell you about shit with Disney that pisses me off. It's like,
how about the grooming?
Yeah.
Child grooming, sex trafficking. Should we talk about all the people that got arrested for human trafficking?
I heard about that. I heard that it was like employees
that worked for Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what's in there?
What's his name? Just stepped down.
Well, he got
or
fired.
was replaced. They have a new CEO, I think.
Well, the new CEO is the
Well,
old
he was
CEO.
the former one, right? A long
Yeah,
time ago, he
Bob
came back.
Bob
Bob
Eisner,
Iger or
Iger,
something
Bob
like that.
Iger. Yeah, he's the one that came back. Yeah. Um, no, I was gonna say like I won't let my kids see Buzz Lightyear and this whole strange world, this strange worlds. It's a new one. It
I
literally,
don't know.
it just like I said, I'm a parent, so I see um the the lead character is like this gay kid,
Oh,
and like
well, that's the other thing.
he kisses like his love interest in the movie. And now look, if you want to put that in an adult movie, I get it. That's fine. You know,
Yeah, it's got no place
I
for a
don't give a shit. Look,
Disney
I
show or Disney movie. That's got no place
yeah,
for
you
that.
know, like I mean, what's that movie? Old movie. Was it The Crying Game? The one. Anyways, I'm a movie buff, so I used to. There was a movie I'm trying to remember. It's a Kevin Smith movie, Chasing Amy.
Okay,
That's
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it though.
oh, it's an interesting movie. But anyways, it's about a girl. She's I think in love with another girl, and then she's trying to. Anyways,
Okay,
tangent. Like I told you, tangents. And
tangents.
uh, but no, I mean, have you ever like auditioned for anything with like Disney? Do like a voice or
No,
actual show for them?
no, I wouldn't let myself do that.
No, actually, you know
Plus,
what?
I'm gonna be 40 years old this year. I think I'm like,
Nothing wrong with
way
being
past that. I'm not a Disney character. I'm not a Disney star. And I think
nothing wrong
once
with
you
being
become
40.
a Disney star, that's kind of what you're locked into for like the rest of not only your life, your career. I think that's what everybody kind of just associates you with is that Disney star or whatever. I that just was it didn't appeal to me.
Well, let me
I
show
didn't
you.
want that for my career.
I sent you this clip, and I want to get your opinion on it. If I could get this
Sure.
at the rate, I had sent it to you guys, but I found this funny because literally I'm having you on, and someone sent me this clip on Instagram, and I found this interesting. Let me see if it show up. Okay, hold up. Let me refresh it so like that it could start from the beginning.
Okay.
They don't like me in Hollywood. Why do they not like you? I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. You have to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking. That's gutter. But they all.
So seeing that clip, I wanted to get your opinion. Like, what? Like, have they ever asked you to do stuff like that for a role to get a role? Like, have they ever say, if you sleep with this guy, you'll get this role?
No, I have not experienced that at all.
Oh, okay.
There is casting websites that when you put in your personal information, you'll have to like put your preferences.
Uh-huh.
And part of those preferences are things you will, let me rephrase that, things you have no opposition to doing,
Okay.
like things you're not opposed to doing and things you're willing to do. So like same-sex things are on there, nudity is on there, and then you have to click it off, if you're willing to do it or not. But as far as experiencing that, I have not.
Oh, okay.
It's never come up, but you do have to tell them if you're willing to do it or not. I just found that kind of interesting and concerning, to be honest with you, that's actually on there.
Oh, what about you? Like your sexual preference?
Yeah,
Whether you
same
do like
sex, being intimate
nudity,
with another
sex
man or another
scenes?
woman, or nudity, full nudity, back nudity. Like it gets very detailed.
Well, I could imagine. I mean, let's say, for example, I
Things you're
remember
willing to show, not
I'm
willing to
a
show.
I'm a Friends fan.
Okay, me
The show
too.
Friends. So Joey. So remember when Joey was the butt double for Al Pacino?
Yeah,
That's one. So that would be probably one where okay, they're gonna ask you if do you mind showing your butt,
yeah, that's on
or
there.
one where he's
That's on
supposed
there.
to kiss a dude. and he
Yeah.
keeps trying to get Chandler and Ross to kiss him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could imagine why they would have to put stuff like that on there because, let's say, for example, oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry
okay.
about that. I got a phone call.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's like Kirk Cameron. Like Kirk Cameron will not kiss another woman.
Will not kiss a woman?
Yeah, he won't kiss another woman. Like to do his movies.
Is he
He,
outwardly homosexual or?
no, Kirk Cameron's Christian. He won't kiss. He won't kiss another woman other than his wife.
Oh, okay. So it's
So like
because of religious beliefs.
a religious belief. So let's say I think
Okay.
he did a movie, Fireproof,
I
and
like Kirk
like,
Cameron, by the way.
huh?
I like Kirk Cameron.
Yeah. So he at the end of the scene, they show him kissing his wife, his wife in the movie, but in order to film the scene, they kind of like cast away so you can't see her face. When in reality, instead of kissing the actress that was playing his wife, he kissed his actual wife.
And you don't see it on camera? You don't see it in
Or
the
you
scene?
see them kissing, but you don't see her face.
Oh,
And it was just so like that he would kiss his wife.
okay.
He won't,
That's, I mean,
But let's say, for example, his sister, on the other hand, his sister doesn't, for TV, she doesn't care if she kisses other guys.
okay. And
She
they
just
have the
looks at,
same religious beliefs, right? They're from.
yeah, they're both Christians. They're both
Okay.
they do conservative, like
And is
um
she's
she used
married
to,
as well?
yeah, she's married to a former hockey player,
Okay. Oh,
uh Pavel Bure.
yeah. Candace Cameron
Yeah, Candace Cameron.
from
So
Full House.
yep. So she used to do the Hallmark Channel movies,
Yeah.
but now the Hallmark Channel wants to do um like woke movies. So like now they want to do like
And she's against that.
gay movies. They want to do transsexual movies,
Yeah.
and she's against it.
Yeah, she
So
got some backlash for that, which I think is
yeah,
totally wrong.
yeah, she her
She's been like a staple for Hallmark for such a long
yeah,
time now.
she she
And now you basically won't see her
Hallmark
in
is
any
going
Hallmark
woke.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing she switched to another new and upcoming like channel to do movies for them.
Okay.
More, wholesome family. And what ended up happening was the girl who plays Stephanie, Jodie Swinton.
Jodie Sweetin.
Sweden, yeah. She unfriended her on Instagram because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it
Wow.
was just like she's not saying, it's like she doesn't want to.
Well,
She's a Christian,
I think she's a big component for like LGBTQ and stuff.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she's
Jodie. So, but to go
Hollywood.
against, kind of messed up.
So what's
It's her personal choice. She doesn't,
well,
she
what's
wanna
some
do
stuff
it.
that you
That's her
haven't?
preference.
What's some stuff you're itching to tell? Because I know you wanted to tell your story. Is there some stuff that some stuff you want to say? Something you're holding back, like you maybe you don't, maybe you don't want to say for whatever reason, or maybe you're forgetting that you want to talk about.
I'm not really sure. It might come to me, but I will say this. I'm not down with Hollywood. I'm not. I haven't been for a very long time. There is too much old blood in Hollywood. Same old characters, same old actors, same old storylines, same old movies. What I like, or what I would like to happen, is new blood. New actors, new stars, new movies, new storylines. No mandates. Basically, no mandates. I see the same shitty movies over and over again. Okay, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. So what I'm proposing, and this is the first time I'm saying this live and in a video form, is what I'm proposing is an alternative to Hollywood. So sort of another avenue for actors, more specifically conservative and Republican actors who go against the grain, go against the narrative, go against the elites of Hollywood. So I've been trying to get into Hollywood for a really long time. I'm an actor of 10 plus years. I've been doing this, and I can't seem to get my break. And from what I gather, it's because of my political leanings. I'm very outspoken about it. I have been for a very long time. So what I would like is an alternative to Hollywood for actors like me to get their shot, to perform and do what we love to do, which is our passion, to make movies and entertain people. I just don't have the money to do so. So I really need a backing. I need some support, funding, if you will. I don't know. I need some people to get on board with that. For more, because there's a lot of people out there like me that can't get into Hollywood because they're Republican, they're conservative, they have political leanings like myself. They can't break through.
There's some companies that have some financial backing that are trying it. Like
I didn't see that comment, by the way.
Like the Daily Wire, like Ben Shapiro.
Big conservatives to back people like Pete. Thank you, Marissa. Ben Shapiro, yeah.
Yeah, they did like when Gina Carano, when she got kicked out of The Mandalorian.
Okay,
they brought her on board to make movies for them. So
okay.
I mean, there's not many companies, but I mean, we have to support those companies when they make those movies. Like, did you ever see their first movie, Run, Hide, Fight?
No.
Oh, it's great. I saw it.
But I see some conservative actors. James Woods, Scott Baio.
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo.
These are big time actors that went against the grain and spoke out. You don't see them anymore, do you?
No, like Kevin Sorbo is now blacklisted.
Kevin Sorbo, yeah.
Now
they're all blacklisted. There's a lot of actors that people don't even realize that they don't see anymore. There's a reason for that. They've been blacklisted. They're not allowed back in. They won't sign a contract with anybody on the far right. No pun intended. Okay, I guess it's my show now.
Okay.
I'll just wait for him.
Sorry, that was my wife. She forgot that I was recording today, and for her to call me at this time, it's weird. So
okay,
she's just telling me that she was staying late. She works evenings, so she works 1:30 to 10:30. So.
Oh, okay. I thought she was in the next room. It seemed like.
No. She was just calling me on the phone. No, I have my my little studio down here in the basement. The kids are upstairs sleeping, and yep. This is what This is the time I take when they're in bed. I don't have to worry. I usually prefer when they're sleeping because if I don't, then my 5-year-old, 6-year-old now, she'll come down and want to get in the middle.
I hear you.
So,
but to go back to what I was saying, I really would like an alternative to Hollywood for people like me.
It amazes me that
rebuild a different Hollywood with these actors like James Woods who already have name recognition. Yeah. We need more people like that to speak out, but they're also still afraid that they're going to be blacklisted and not allowed back in that circle, not going to be able to work. And understandable because this is their livelihood. This is how they pay their bills.
No, she put. I met his 6-year-old.
Oh,
She's adorable. But no, I think the problem also with, like, let's say with, like, you have like James Woods, you have all these conservative actors, their names, but they don't have the money because they would never necessarily, let's say, um, they weren't these superstars actors like
they
James
weren't big
Woods.
names, right? They
He's a
weren't big
great
names,
actor. He's a good actor. He could do funny. He could do serious, but he was
right?
never the star of a movie. Like
But we won't get that. We won't
although
get
what's
that
funny is
because
isn't
those
Sylvester
named actors, those big superstars, they'll never be allowed back in
isn't
Hollywood,
Sylvester
and they don't
Stallone
want to take.
conservative?
He is,
He is because I've
but
seen
he's
some of
not. He's just not outspoken about it, which is
he's
why
just
he continues to get work.
hmm and then you have
They're
someone
not
like
going to
Mel.
take a risk and just throw away their Hollywood career for 5-star Pete. You know what I mean?
Mhm. What
It's a huge risk.
Corey put between an individual's own moral conscience and the commands of a political authority, is the individual morally obligated to do what he personally views as wrong in order to obey the law? Oof, deep.
There's a lot there. I'm not even really sure what the question is.
What
What are you
he's
asking me here?
what he's basically asking is like if the it's kind of, I guess you could say, you could kind of relate it to the jab, where it's saying kind of like if your moral conscience tells you that you don't want to do something, but the political authority says that that you have to do it, are
Hmm.
you morally obligated to do that, to go against your personal views to obey the law?
Well, that would be immoral, wouldn't it be?
um
If you're doing something that's considered wrong because it's against what that authority is telling you to do,
well, that's the
you're
questions when
going
you get
against
into
the
that's
establishment, basically.
Well, that's the whole question about morality, because when you get into morality, it's what's no. Here's the problem. The problem is when you don't when morality is stuff that people agree on, and the problem is when you shift morality, when you shift what's good and what's bad,
Hmm.
then when you move those goalposts, that's why we're in the mess that we are right now, because the fact that
Exactly. Everything
you know
switched. Everything that was bad is good, and everything
yeah.
that's good is bad now.
That's why, as a Christian, it's scary, because that's what they talk about in Revelation. There'll be a time when what's good is what is good will be bad, and what is bad will be good. You see
Here
what's
we are.
Here we are. It goes. What
Tony
about
Danza, yeah.
Tony Danza?
What do
Alyssa
you think?
Milano is a raging idiot. I
That's a
mean,
good point.
leftist. So I wonder what he thinks about his TV daughter.
Hmm.
That's a good question, Sonia. I mean, I don't know, what do you think? What do you think, Pete?
Um, I don't know. I just saw them as people that had to work together. They don't agree, obviously. I think Tony Danza is on the right and Alyssa's far left.
I think
Um,
she's far stupid, but
yeah, she
she
started
says
this whole Me Too movement.
well, the Me Too movement. You know what? It's like Black Lives Matter. If they were fair, if they were honest, I get it. Like Me Too, I understood it in the sense that you had like the piece of shit Harvey Weinstein that was screwing all these actresses, and if they kept it apolitical and kept it just about that. But just like everything else they do, they had to expand. They had to make it political, and it was like, if it was a Democrat, no, 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 no. We have to believe some. We got to believe all women. But when it's someone a Democrat does it, no, no, no. We have to question. So that's when it became bullshit.
But to answer your question, I really wish Tony would, come out and talk. 'Cause I don't see him working. I think he's working on some other things.
It was
But
if
Alyssa Milano was a kid, literally a kid, when they did
yeah,
Who's the Boss. So I don't
Corey.
think politics had anything to do with that.
No, I think by
Back
it's
then.
just more about where they are now. It goes say, okay,
Now they're two
Co-
different
Corey
people.
put here, if an individual should always uphold their own conscience, why does anyone have to live under government of any form? Um, if they agree
Why
to
do
it,
we?
if they
Um,
agree to it, that's what I would say. I mean, government is supposed to be, you know,
Government is supposed to work
consent.
for us.
You get consent of the governed. Now the question is, what kind of government do you want that to be? If you don't, if you don't want to live under a government, then start a movement. Build it somewhere, um, and see how it goes. Because what trying to say, yeah. So start that movement. I mean, like I remember when a lot of libertarians were moving to Rhode Island to turn Rhode Island into the first libertarian state.
Mm-hmm.
But let me, before I go into that, let me go. I'm going to the comments one by one.
Because I
Which
never
people?
thought Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi, and so many rockers would be for Biden. Yeah, nobody did. Nobody did until shit hit the fan. They had to. Well, I mean, here's my thing. I don't think they really are. I don't. Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi, and everybody else that supported Biden,
Uh-huh.
they don't really actually support him. They were bought out. It's all about the money. That
Yeah.
whole regime, the whole administration. Another example is The Rock, the biggest movie star, biggest sports entertainer in the world. He's number one.
Yeah.
Can't stand him. I hate him because of his allegiance to Biden. But they were paid off.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money involved.
Let's see.
A lot of
Marissa
money.
put
They were told to do that.
Corey,
So-
government is okay to run a country in some aspects, but that's why we conservatives believe it should be very limited.
Yeah.
And Corey put, let's see, if it's voluntary, then doesn't that make it an organization or business?
Government as a business organization.
Well,
I mean, you're
understand
bringing up
what-
some good points here, Corey. I can't deny that.
Yes, it's deep. What Corey's talking about is just basically, it's kind of
Getting too deep on us, Corey.
it's basically that whole concept
Making us think.
of like personal liberty, self, what do you call that? The self-sovereign movement,
Right.
where you're your own sovereign. You don't, you're not supposed to.
Is there some countries or like
Well, no,
that are like that, like sovereignties? Is that what they're
no,
called?
no.
Sovereignties?
There's no countries. There's no countries like that.
Not countries,
Self-sovereign.
but like the hell's the word I'm looking for?
There's no total libertarian state. There's no total, anarchist state, because it's you get believe Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be more like a narco-capitalist state, kind of like an Ayn Rand type of thing that you're trying to talk about. But let's keep going to, let's see what Marissa put. We have a tyrannical banana republic that isn't listening to us. The government working as it's designed to work isn't the problem. It's the rogue politicians getting foreign kickbacks who are the problem. Marissa, you got like 75% of the problem, because the other 25% is also the intelligence agencies. You got CIA, FBI.
FBI, CIA, they're
I
all
mean, the
involved with that.
FBI is going way beyond its scope. I was listening to
But
something
again,
today.
they're all bought out. They're all bought out. Everything
Well, I
comes
was
back to
listening
money.
what's going on with the FBI is they're going beyond their scope. They're supposed to, let's say, be investigating crimes, and they're investigating. They're not doing investigating crimes. They're just investigating people in search of a crime.
Because they're told to do so,
Yes, exactly.
even though they have nothing.
Or they'll
And
say
they've
they're
had
trying to.
nothing for
They're
what, 8
preventing.
years now?
They're trying to prevent crime, and you can't
Just
say
like the
prevent.
raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate, which
Yeah.
was illegal. But they did it anyway, didn't they?
He there you go, Corey. But thanks guys, good combo. How can there be an Anna
State.
I can never get that
Freedom, anarchy.
state if anarchy means by definition no state? Is freedom, aka anarchy, not our given reality?
Well, here's the thing also is like it's in our constitution. If there's a tyrannical government, we have the right to overtake it. But nobody's doing that, are they?
No, but what he's talking about, he's just talking about the contradiction of saying create an anarchistic state. If by definition that means anarchy means the lack of government.
Yeah.
But what I would say by
Which
that
we
is
have. There's definitely a lack of government here.
you can, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about literally no government. Like, let's say everything's, what he's kind of talking about is more like volunteerism, where it's like,
But who has that? Who has that?
It's kind of like, I kind of look at it like this. This is what I look at it as. It's kind of like
Everybody has some form of government.
It's the whole opposite.
Otherwise, you will have literal anarchy.
It's the whole opposite of communism. The problem with communism is it works in small snippets. It works in literally in communes where you have people. Oh, okay, you're taking care of the chickens. I'll take care of the cows, and we'll share everything that we have together. That works in small groups.
Yeah, between
and
two people, 3 people. Yeah.
And
when it comes to
not even, let's
cities and states and countries and whatnot, it just doesn't work.
100 acres of land. If you have 100 acres of land and you're doing the farming between a bunch of people, it works that way. But when you have large groups of people, you got people, let's say, for example, when you go to work, you got people who sit on their ass and won't do nothing. And you got other people who bust their ass for their paycheck. Yeah. And they're getting paid the same
thing. We're making the same amount, but they did nothing.
But I busted my ass. Eventually, that person who bust their ass is going to be like, why am I going to bust my ass to do the same job?
Yeah.
This person's getting getting the same thing.
Right.
Well, let's see what Corey say here. Corey put, yes, voluntarism. Look it up. If we fear freedom, how can we practice it? If we don't practice self-ownership, how can we be free? The requirement of anarchy or freedom is self-ownership. It's a good question. It's a good question. It's, freedom's scary. The question is, how free do you want it to be? And you put,
I got
Marissa
news for you. We're not
just
free.
like you, 100. It's the right of the people to alter and abolish it.
Yes.
And she put, I don't
it's
think
right there in the Constitution.
I don't think getting rid of all the government,
if there really is one anymore, because we've rewritten the Constitution many times over since this whole bullshit happened in 2020 and even before that.
Marissa, she's kind of clowning you right now. She put, I'm glad I don't get these questions when I'm on.
Yeah, no. Who brought Corey in here?
I know Corey. Corey actually.
No, I'm kidding.
Corey.
It was just some things that we didn't want to go down that route. There was some things we wanted to talk about today.
Well, you know what? You
Down
know,
with the session, we are ideologically incompatible.
I mean, she's just talking about peaceful divorce, where some people talking about how we're so divided as a country that
Oh, okay.
it's, you know, saying, peaceful divorce, instead of a civil war.
I mean, you know, what we got to realize is that there's really one party. It's not two. It's two. We're divided because we made ourselves divided. They divided us and we let it happen. So once you understand that we have one common enemy and that we are one party and not two, then we can finally come together and be United States of America, not divided States of America.
Corey. No, yeah, I have to have you on, Corey. I have to have you on again sometime soon. He was one of my first guests that I had on when I first started. There's no relative freedom. You're either free or not. He put,
what do you think, Corey? Are we free or not?
Oh no, he's saying either you're free or you're not. He goes, there's no relative freedom. So it's like once you start putting restrictions,
Right, then you're not free.
Then you're not free.
Whether it's chair or human being, you either own it or you don't.
Well, I mean, when it comes to property, what's to stop someone if you don't have a set of beliefs or a set of values or a set of rules in place? What's to stop someone other than you being able to protect yourself from someone from going kind of like Walking Dead style, where it's like, well, your shit's my shit now, and you're gonna give me my stuff when I every week.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, Corey. A few more comments here, but I'm gonna go through a couple of these and then it got to cut it off. It's
okay.
It goes here. Yup, the Uniparty, they divided us and we let it happen. She goes here. I own my own chair, but the government doesn't own me, Corey. If they did, I'd been masked and jabbed a long time ago. Nope. Our body, our choice, like the left loves to say.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I love the conversation, but okay, let's see what one last thing Corey has to say. Again, rules, self-ownership are the requirement for freedom. Rulers are not rules. Internal ruler equals self-control. External ruler equals government. Okay, fair enough. That's
I agree with that.
I could agree with that. But that's the problem is trusting. The problem there is trust. And do you have trust more in internal rulers, or do you have, trust more in external rulers? And that would be the question right there. She put, you're shy since when?
That's what I said. You ain't shy. What are you talking about? You're the furthest
You
one
ain't
from shy.
Yeah, yeah, right. And Corey put, thanks. Good talk. Thanks, Corey. You made us think. You made us think.
Yeah. Thanks, Corey.
Yes, you are very sarcastic. That's what she put. I'm also sarcastic.
Should have put shy in quotes.
If that's what if you would have put shy in quotes, then yeah, that might have come off better. Corey recommends reading the most dangerous superstition by Larkin Rose. I'll check it out.
All right, let me just say one last thing before we wrap up tonight, because I got something going here and I kind of want to just get it out before we end the show, and I don't get to say it. So
you know what? I give
it has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. It's kind of like a tangent, side street, if you will.
Let me do this. I'm going to do this.
I didn't have to do that. Okay. I'll roll with it. Okay. So, Damar Hamlin, NFL football player, plays for the Buffalo Bills. I think it's about 2 weeks now. I don't know. Monday night, he played a football game. He made a tackle. Okay. He got up, stumbled around for a little bit, and he fell backwards. Went into cardiac arrest. He was worked on for about 10 minutes, taken to the hospital. He had a breathing tube, the whole nine. Okay. Said he had heart failure, nothing good. I mean, it was looking pretty bleak at one point. Thankfully, he's alive and well. He was released from the hospital. He's heading home to be with his family. And very thankful for that. Happy to hear it. Well wishes for him and his family and his teammates and everybody that had to witness that. But just to piggyback on that, this is a 24-year-old healthy athlete. Okay, he plays in the National Football League. They have the best of doctors. They get tested physically, their entire bodies, head to toe, before they're allowed to go onto that field. He played that game, so he thought, healthy and physically fit to play in that game that Monday night. And then he's lying on his back, fighting for his life. Again, this is a 24-year-old healthy, fit athlete in the National Football League. And everybody wants to say this is from a tackle. He was hit in the chest. In that exact moment, his heart stopped. And that's what caused him to fall backwards and go into cardiac arrest. Does anybody know how many times this has happened in the National Football League? I'll tell you. The answer is 0. No NFL player has ever in the history of the National Football League fell and went into cardiac arrest right there on the field. He's not the first. He's not the last. There's a lot of athletes all over the world. Some are older. Some are a lot younger. Some are as young as 13 years old. It's happening in this country. It's happening in this world. People are dropping like flies for no reason. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Died Suddenly. Died Suddenly. Like I said, it's happening in this country. It's happening all over the world. A lot of them are athletes. Basketball, football, and soccer. Those 3 sports specifically. A girl just dropped dead. She was 13 years old in a flag football game. 13 years old, 15 years old, 18 years old.
Especially the ones that surprise me, the soccer players, because these soccer players,
lots of soccer players.
It's happening to these
soccer players all over the world.
They're in tremendous shape. Like, football players.
You know what it takes to be a soccer player?
Oh my God!
To run up and down that field, for hours.
I
couldn't do it.
I played one real soccer game ever in my whole life. Like, I played on a real field with running around. That one day I did that. It's still to this day the most steps I've ever done on my watch was like 40,000 steps for just, what was it? Maybe like an hour and a half game. It was crazy.
Just recently, just a few days ago, kid was playing. I could have sworn it was a college basketball game, maybe high school. Kid just playing defense,
it was college basketball.
Kind of, playing the game.
It was
all of a sudden, it just fucking drops.
Yes,
he just drops.
grabbed his chest.
Dude, this
I
is
saw that.
happening way too much, and nobody's questioning it. Like, we need to start having this conversation. And I know what's going on, but people need to wake up. People need to start asking questions.
There's
'Cause
nothing wrong
it's
with
every
asking
day
questions.
now. It's every day.
And
This
there's
is not
nothing-
normal, folks. This is
No.
not. When do you ever see this?
And there's nothing
When have you
wrong
ever
with
seen
asking
this?
questions.
People just dropping dead.
Yeah.
Like flies, like this. Dead.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if you got.
they're all sports.
Yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Monday show, but me and Marissa talked about that. The sudden adult death syndrome.
Yeah. Sudden
Right.
adult death syndrome. Yeah. Which
Or
or
they actually making a term for it.
they'll say like unknown causes, or what's the other term they say? I don't know. Nobody seems to know why. People just dropping dead. Nobody has a clue why. And it's every day now. My theory is they're all vaccinated. Every single one of them. I don't know to what extent, but it's causing major lethal heart complications. And these are kids. And I hate to see it to our kids.
Yeah,
I don't
you
have
do.
any kids of my own, but it affects me. It affects me
Oh,
a
I
lot.
won't.
I see it every day.
I won't. Like, I remember when I took my son to his doctor's appointment, and they're like, "Oh, he's not vaccinated against COVID. Do you want to do it?" I'm like, "No."
Good.
I'm like, he already had it. He's fine. My daughter, they haven't pushed that yet, but it'll be like, no, thank you. She's good. She's had it too.
But
We've
you're
all
supposed
had
to
it.
get it. That's what people don't
We've all
understand.
had.
Is you're
I've had
supposed
it.
to get it.
I've had it twice. I had it last year for Christmas and this year for Thanksgiving.
But
And
here you are. Here you are having this conversation with me because now you have the antibodies for when it does come around again.
Yeah, I mean, all I
You
got
don't,
was
you don't need a vaccine for it. Your body takes care of that. We have immune systems.
That's what made me really suspicious was when they were saying that the vaccine is better than your natural immunity. When they said that nonsense, that's when I was like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that was never talked about. Never talked about natural immunity.
But
they kept pushing the vaccine when we have an immune system to fight all viruses.
We wouldn't have survived as a species this long if we didn't learn how to fight these viruses.
Hey, there's a flu shot, isn't there?
I don't
You
take
still
that
get the
shit
flu,
either.
don't you? How many years now?
Yeah.
But 2 weeks to slow the spread, right?
Well, flu. It's been around
Flu.
over 100 years.
We're in 2023. We still have the flu, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's a flu shot still that you can get. Let me tell you something. I used to get the flu shot every year when I was a kid until I was 21 years old. Up until then, I got the flu every year. I stopped taking the flu shot. I no longer get the flu. You think there's a coincidence?
I'll tell you a
Same
quick
with the
story.
vaccine.
I'll tell you a quick story before we wrap up. It's about the flu. I remember.
Okay, thank you for letting me get that out.
Oh no, you're welcome. I'm a big proponent of taking vitamin D. Like I've been taking vitamin D large doses for over 20 years. It's like in my early. I started taking in my early 20s. I'm 44 now. Well, I will be 44. But I used to tell people you should take vitamin D. You should take vitamin D. It's good for you. Well, one year my my son and my wife caught the flu. Guess who was taking care of them?
You.
Because I didn't get it. Because I always, like I said, all the time, 5,000 to 10,000 IUs of vitamin D every day. And, and people.
Milligrams.
IUs, they're called IUs.
IUs.
When you buy the vitamin Ds, they're called international units.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me why they do that, but I just know some people will tell you 5,000. Some people will say 10,000. What I do is In the winter, I'll take 10,000, and in the summer, I'll take 5,000. Because if I know I'm gonna
Okay,
be,
yeah. I
or
mean,
or I
obviously
may
you
not
do it.
take anything. If I'm going out to, like, if I'm gonna be in the pool for a few hours, I'm gonna be at the beach, I won't take it at all, because it's like, what's the point? I'm gonna be outside anyway.
Right.
I'm gonna
Right.
produce
I
it
mean, that's smart.
naturally. So, but Pete, let people know once again before we sign off. Let people know where they can find you. Like, what's your social media? Which ones are the best ones to follow you on? Which ones do you use the most?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Truth Social, and I have a Facebook, but it's kind of personal and I only use it for like friends and family. But you go to Instagram, type in 5-Star Pete, go to Twitter, 5-Star Pete, Truth Social, same thing, you'll be able to find me. If not, you can reach me here on YouTube. I'm also on YouTube. And same, 5-Star Pete
Do you
is the.
have a link tree?
I do not. That's something I got to set up.
Yeah.
I started it, but I couldn't figure it out. So maybe you
I
can
just
help me
it's
out
easy.
with
You
that.
get to put your links on it. You get to put all your links on it. So, like, I have one. It's free. You don't have to pay anything for it. So
Yeah.
you just put your, you put your Twitter, your Instagram, your YouTube, all of the links that you have, where maybe your name might be a little tweaked or whatnot.
And
Sometimes
it's free. You don't got to pay for that, or
you don't
what?
have to pay for that.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Mhm.
I gotta look into that. I'll have
Yeah,
Marissa show me how to do that.
Marissa has it. I have it. It's
Okay.
very simple. I even
My
have.
name's
I have
always constantly changing though, so I'd hate to put that on unless I could. There's an option to edit it.
Yeah, you could always edit it. Like, when,
Okay.
like, let's say you get banned and you have to make another account, you
Yeah.
can always go back and edit it.
Okay. Yeah. Marissa, you hear that? You got to help me set that up.
I'm pretty sure she'll help you. It's
Yeah.
it's very easy. It's not
But
hard.
yeah,
Even if
5-Star Pete, you could find me basically anywhere.
well, what I'll do is I'll put your I won't put your Facebook. I'll put your Twitter. I'll put your Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, you have
Um,
the links. You're on
yeah, I
there.
have your links. I'll just put them in the description, and I'll have to upload this onto Rumble, because since we started late, the Rumble live stream didn't go on, so I have to just
Okay.
upload it.
That's the only thing I don't have is Rumble. I might have an account, but I don't ever use it. Those other ones you could find me. I'm
Mhm.
constantly posting on Instagram and Twitter, especially Twitter. Definitely want to find me on Twitter.
All
Hint,
right. Well,
hint.
in Twitter, yeah, I'll add that stuff on. But thanks for coming on. Thank you for telling me your
Thank you for
story.
having me.
And
My
yeah,
pleasure.
when you get the itch, like with Marissa, when I tell her, when there's just something that you feel passionate, you want to talk about, hit me up, and I'm always,
Will do.
you know
You got to get me and Marissa on here, side by side.
there you go. Next, that'll be the next
One
one.
of the next ones.
I'll get both you guys on. What do you say, Marissa? What do you say? She said, "I knew that."
I knew that
No,
was
that
coming.
she knew that was
Oh,
coming.
help me with the
About
link
the
tree.
helping you. Yeah. Oh, this is sad. Put Shiny put, I have natural immunity, but my family trying to get me jabbed, which I don't want to.
So then don't.
The problem is he was telling me about this. They want to kick him out of his house.
Oh, okay.
I told him, get a fake card.
Yeah. There's lots of people with them. So I've been told. I don't have one.
I don't have. Well,
But
I'll be
there's ways
honest.
around it. Just
I
say that
have.
you did.
I got the J&J because I was, I had people who died in my family.
Oh, okay. So
I did it
before we end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just to speak on that, since you mentioned it, anybody who is awakened to what's going on with these vaccines, okay, and you're a little worried about what's going to happen to you, like we talked about earlier, people are dropping like flies. My best advice to you is to detox. Do a complete body cleanse, get that poison out of your system, because I'd hate for something to happen to you. So let's just talking from somebody who really cares about everybody, as a whole. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, I don't want to see anything happen to anybody.
As I started working out, I started, eating better. I've started
Go the natural route. Yeah. Get your vitamin D, vitamin C, work out.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 times a week I'm in the gym.
And please don't do that to your kids, guys.
Oh, hell no.
Please keep
Please,
that
yes.
shit away from your
That
kids.
one. And if you have a girl, well, actually, they're giving it to both kids. Don't do that HPV vaccine either.
Yeah, that's just as bad. Just as bad, especially for the mother.
So, well, it was a nice talking with you. It was we had some interesting questions asked. It was definitely
did.
one of those.
Thanks to Corey over there.
Yeah, one of my most involved discussions.
Good. There'll
Usually,
be more.
yeah,
There'll be
yeah.
more.
All right. Well,
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And
all right.
thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for all the questions, comments. And yeah, come follow me.
All right. That being said, well, I'm the Rican, and I'm doing shows either Mondays or Wednesdays, or sometimes both. This week I had them. I had it on both. So I have some other future guests coming on. I'm just there in the background. I'm waiting to get confirmations of what days they could do it. But like I did with Pete, and I could do with my guest, I usually try to do a promo flyer before so people can know. And that being said, have a good one, everyone.